What is up, everyone? Mark here, and welcome to episode 10 of Pandemic Pantry. Today, we are making coffee molasses pork chops. A little bit of a milestone passed last week. We hit 30 episodes of cooking videos published. That's all of the Pandemic Pantry and Orange Vest and extra videos combined. This is week 11. Video 31. No signs of slowing down. I'm just enjoying this so much. I hope you guys are enjoying watching the videos half as much as I'm enjoying making them. If you are, please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. It helps me to grow the channel. Share your favorite videos and share the channel on social media. Get your friends to subscribe as well. If you haven't subscribed yet, just click the red button down below the video. If you're watching on Facebook, just go over to youtube.com/markberm and you can subscribe there. So like I said, today we are doing coffee molasses pork chops. Not as strange as it sounds. It's actually pretty good. This is even a great weeknight recipe because honestly, we're just going to throw everything together for a marinade in a plastic Ziploc bag. We're going to marinate the pork chops for a while and pull them out and grill them. And it's really as simple as that. Just a really good, interesting, tasty, different recipe. Let's get started. Okay, we are ready to get started. Now, this recipe does require a little bit of forethought because you have to do the marinade ahead of time. You can do it as little as 2 hours, but ideally, you want to do it overnight, get the most flavor in there. But again, as long as you've got a couple of hours, you should be fine. So we're going to start out with our 2 pork chops. Now, we're going to make the full amount of the sauce here because it's really not a lot. And that's enough for a good 4 large pork chops. As you can see, I've got a couple of relatively small medium pork chops here, and that's fine. Bone in, bone out, all that's going to affect is how you cook. These without the bone and thinner are going to cook much more quickly than bone-in pork chop that's thicker. So that's just one thing that you want to consider. Also, with a boneless like this, you'll usually find that there is a ribbon of fat and kind of silver skin that runs around the side there. You want to cut into this a little bit with a knife at even intervals. And what this will do is it will help prevent the shrinking of the meat and the fat at different rates from causing things to curl up, as often happens. So it would kind of cup, and that when it's not flat, that's not good for getting even cooking and browning on both sides. So we're going to just quickly do this on both pork chops. And we're trying not to cut too far into the meat there, really just kind of score the fat and get a little bit through there. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and pat these mostly dry with paper towel. Now we're going to get started on our marinade, and we're going to just use a 1 gallon heavy-duty Ziploc or freezer bag. And to this, we are going to add 1 cup of strong coffee that's been cooled. You don't want to pour hot coffee in here. We're going to add half a cup of molasses. Add 2 tablespoons of cider vinegar. And we're going to add about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. We're going to do half a teaspoon of ginger. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. That's going to vary to your tastes. And lastly, 2 cloves of garlic. A garlic press, you've seen me use this a ton now, I'm sure, is a great unitasker to have. Unitasker being the sort of thing that really only has one use in the kitchen. I like to avoid those in general, and you should too. Having a bunch of gadgets that only do one thing isn't really all that helpful. This is one, depending on how much garlic you use in your cooking, that I think at least is actually valuable to have around. It's just so much easier and quicker to just press it through and not have to worry about even making sure that it's fully peeled. Okay, so in go the pork chops. I want to try and just get most of the air out of there. Seal it up. And just get everything mixed up and well combined. Now, because I've got such a small amount of pork chop versus the amount of sauce, it's really not an issue here, but you may want to find a pie plate or a baking dish or a bowl or something that will give you enough space to make sure that the pork chops remain kind of fully immersed in the marinade on all sides where it's covering the top, bottom, and sides. All right, so we are going to put these in the refrigerator on a bottom shelf. We want to keep these away from anything else just in case it leaks. We've got the bowl here to really catch anything, but you know, never can be too sure. Also, since we've been touching this with raw meat hands, we want to keep it away from other food. It's a potential cross-contamination risk. So again, just be careful with that. Keep it away from other things, and we'll give this a couple of hours in the fridge, and we'll come back and get ready for the grill. Okay, we are ready to grill up our pork chops, or almost ready to grill up our pork chops. So I've got the grill preheating outside. And, you know, again, this is a great recipe for a weeknight. It's a great recipe for this time of year. You know, nobody wants to be in a hot kitchen, so at least you can be out in front of the grill for some of this. So I'm going to wipe off some of the excess marinade here and get the pork chops onto the plate. And we'll just put those aside. Aside, and we're going to just empty our marinade into a saucepan. Okay, and we just want to bring this to a boil. And we're going to just cook it until it reduces to about half a cup, maybe 3/4 of a cup of liquid. And that will be our sauce for the pork chops when they come off the grill. A lot of people try basting the pork chops or basting your meat while it's on the grill. Really, especially with something that's high sugar content like this, it's just going to burn. There's really no sense in doing that. You want to preserve that flavor, so we don't want to burn it on the grill. So once they're cooked, we'll drizzle the sauce on them at the end, and we're going to serve this with some peas on the side and some garlic bread. See, it's really starting to thicken up. And a little bit more syrupy. Coats the spatula more. And get that reduced a little bit more. Okay, I think we're about where we want to be. I'm going to take this off the heat. Give it a couple of final stirs. kill the heat and cover this and set this aside while we go outside and take care of the pork chops. Okay, now the first thing we want to do to get started is brush down the grates. This is already pretty clean, but once your grill's preheated, you want to use the brush just to get rid of any burned on mess. Second thing is we're going to take a wad of paper towel and we're going to grease the grates with a little bit of canola oil. And this just helps make sure we've got a mostly non-stick surface. Okay, we are going to put down our pork chops. And we're gonna put our bread on to toast. And we'll give that a couple minutes, check it, and flip it. How are we doing? Couple more minutes. One more flip. Okay, we are good. A little bit of salt and pepper for the peas with some of the margarine. let's give this a try. That is really good. It's almost like a barbecue sauce. Coffee molasses barbecue. Oh. Very good. I think I'm going to have to save this extra sauce. All right, guys. That's it for another one. We'll see you in the next video.